Okay, here's how to answer a question about calculating price elasticity of demand and total expenditure. It's from the practice exam. So here's our question. So there's a graph below which showing a demand curve for croissant. We've got the price on the vertical axis and the quantity demanded on the horizontal axis. So the first part of the question is asking you to use the point equation to calculate the price elasticity of demand coefficient at the price of $3. So let's start off with our point equation for price elasticity. So we've got the percentage change in the quantity demanded over percentage change in the price. Remember, it's times by 100, but the hundreds cancel out. So we can rearrange this in a useful way. All we've done is rearrange it. We haven't changed the formula in any substantive way. And it's handy because when we rearrange it like this, we can see that this part is the reciprocal of the slope of the demand curve. So the slope is going to be the rise over the run. So we can use that, the reciprocal of that, to find this here. And then we've got this other part here, which is the point, which is this point here. Now all we have to do is plug in the data. So the reciprocal of the slope is going to be 18, but it's negative 18. We're decreasing by 18 units and increasing the price by 6. So it's negative 18 over 6 multiplied by the point. What's the point? The point is the price is 3 and the quantity is 9. So that's that. Then you just calculate it. So negative 18 over 6 is negative 3 multiplied by this. We'll reduce it down to a third. So negative 3 times 1/3 is negative 1. And that is the coefficient. Okay, let's do point B, question B. Using the point equation, calculate price elasticity of demand coefficient at the price of 4. So we'll start off the same again, use the same equipment. But now we're increasing the price from 3 to 4. So we're moving to this point here. So we got the price, but we don't have the quantity. Anyway, so let's plug in as much as we can. So the slope, or the reciprocal of the slope, is the same as before. I mean, the slope hasn't changed. So it's still negative 18 over 6, which reduces to negative 3, or simplifies to negative 3, I should say, and multiplied by our new point, price 4, and quantity of some amount. So we can't see what that is. We don't know what that is, but we can work it out. And the way we can work it out is we can immediately recognize, obviously, this is a straight line. So we've got the form of a linear equation. It's always going to be y, the y variable on the vertical axis, equals a. A here is the vertical intercept, which is 6, minus, because it's minus m is the slope, so it's a negative slope, it's downward sloping, multiplied by the value of x on the horizontal axis. So let's just plug in our labels and values as best we can. So we've got prices on the vertical axis equals the vertical intercept, which is 6. So the vertical intercept is where the line cuts the vertical axis. So that's 6 minus the slope. Now the slope is rise 6 over run 18. 6 over 18 multiplied by the quantity. Now we can solve. Now we just solve for Q. solve for the quantity. So we put in, we want to find out what would Q be if the price were 4. So now we just solve for Q. So we rearrange it a bit. Okay, so we're going to deduct 4 from here, deduct 4 from here, and we're going to minus this and this and put it on this side. So we're left with this, and then we'll put this over here. So when we do that, we divide through by this, it turns into its reciprocal, like that. So we've isolated our Q. So Q equals 2 multiplied by reciprocal of this equals 6. All right, so we've got our, when the price is 4, the quantity is 6. That quantity here is 6. So we plug that back into here. Now we can finish. So negative 18 over 6, which is negative 3, multiplied by 4 over 6. Negative 3 times 2/3 equals negative 2. So that is our coefficient, our price elasticity of demand coefficient at the price of 4 at that point. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, last question, part C. Calculate total expenditure on croissant per day at the price of $2. So total expenditure simply equals the price of the product times the quantity that is sold. So in this case, we're looking at the price of 2. And the quantity sold is Q, some amount. Again, we don't know what that is. So, but we can work it out just as we worked it out before. Okay, so we're going to have expenditure equals $2 times some quantity. Well, let's work out the quantity. Again, we've got our linear equation, right, blah, 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 and plug in our values, which we've done here, and our labels. So now we just solve for Q when the price is $2. So again, we rearrange a bit more. So we've isolated the Q, the quantity. So it's 4 multiplied by 18 over 6 equals 12. Aha. So when the price is $2, the quantity is 12. And that's what we plug back into here. Boom. The total expenditure, when the price is $2, the total expenditure is $24. The end.